Welcome to a muzzled chat. What a crazy time we live in, right? I swear you got to be some type of blind, ignorant, manipulated, hacked, or just frankly some kind of stupid to not be able to acknowledge the spiritual warfare that is taking place around us each and every day. This life and what we're experiencing is nothing short of biblical. I, in fact, was just wrapping up, it's not quite over yet, an episode with Tucker Carlson and his guest, Mike, I'm probably going to butcher this, I apologize, Kernovich, does a fantastic job. Just speaks out on God in his own life in such a powerful way, and just the reality of so many things that are happening around us. And as always, Tucker does a fantastic job just having conversation and just such a lively interview. I suppose I got a lot of things to learn from that man, but I don't view him as competition. I'm grateful he's out there having the impact he's having. But looking around, not enough of us, not enough Americans are showing up in the ways that matter, are standing on truths profoundly enough to make a difference. So whatever impact I could have here on Unmuzzled chat, no matter how big, how small, it's crucial. If I can influence one person today, one person, that's a success. Now, that's exactly what I'm trying to do here, is just expose the spiritual battle we are faced with. And I got some clips from Andrew Tate, a couple amazing ladies really laid out, even Joe Rogan, and then something Tucker spoke out on regarding some facts that threaten the upcoming election gravely. But with that being said, it really just exposes opportunity we have in the right here, right now. And I hope we seize that. I can't shoulder the burden in this world, nor can you. But if we can effectively, like we've just been beating that nail time and time again, but if we can get more people involved, more people engaged, more people tuning in, we could freaking shift this tide. We could have such a positive impact. Let's freaking go. Let's go. Let's do it. In fact, I don't even want to beat around the bush. Let's go ahead and do the hat giveaway. God is the answer. So let's go ahead and first one that inputs God is good in the comment section wins this stand-up hat. So note, it's the first one that uploads a comment into Rumble. And after we congratulate you and send the email, it's important that you obviously follow up with us, give us your address so I could ship this out to you. Best of luck. It's a really cool hat. If you haven't checked out Stand Up Now's apparel and God-made shirts, oh my gosh, they're freaking awesome. Just simply go into the description section, scroll down, find the Stand Up Now link, click it, and follow the prompts. And get yourself some awesome apparel and embody the stand up now. Start leading by example. We need more of that. Okay. So speaking biblical, let's go ahead and share the screen. I really liked this post right here. In the Bible, demons refer to themselves as they, them, we, us, time and time again. This is just a reminder, but the Bible truly is our roadmap in this life, in this existence, in this here and now. It's only going to bring blessing, clarity, peace, some meaning and purpose that I was missing to my own detriment for too long in my own life. But that's okay. We're all human. I'm not here to judge anyone. It's just all about progress. But right here, if you want to look up the very Bible references, like this just says a lot. Now we all know the movement, the poisonous, toxic movement that is using these words. Certain individuals that may have fallen prey to it are they entirely demonic per se? No. I'd venture to say no. But the manipulative reasoning behind that movement is nothing shy of demonic. And people are being manipulated. So even for those innocent ones that are just falling prey to, I'll simply add these pronouns to my dating app or whatever, in a way, I view it like you're inviting that in. It's like, in a sense, you're playing with a Ouija board. What are you doing? It's not good. So we have Mark 5, 1 through 5 and 13, Mark 16:9, Luke 11, 24 through 26, Luke 8:2, Matthew 8:31. One would have been enough out of the Bible, but there's multiple. It's a crazy world we live in, I'm telling you, but there's great opportunity. Now, with that, let's go ahead and jump into Andrew Tate. Now, I know he might be a little distasteful for some because, he's a pretty vulgar dude. And I'm not going to lie, it's really cool to see this man, who in fact is a Muslim, speak out on behalf of Christianity in ways I'm not even seeing Christians take a stance. So as vulgar as he may be, I truly feel, frankly, some people just need to hear it. So there's actually two good ones. Maybe we'll just play them back to back. This is where he's actually protesting outside of the Olympics. Let's go ahead and play this one first.
God is the most important thing in the world. He's the true judge. And to sit here and let France mock the country, mock your religion, make fun of every single thing you throw holy. This is the Last Supper. This is everything holy about Christianity. And we say absolutely nothing about it and say, you cannot even complain. What are we doing wrong by saying that this is disgusting? This is not art.
What's very important to remember is that the European Union gave 100 million euros for France to do this Olympics. So they took your tax money, and they're making fun of Jesus Christ. It's our money, as Romanian taxpayers.
I apologize that I don't know how to enlarge it in here for you, but he's talking to police officers. It states giving them a lesson, but the comments here are pretty freaking awesome. He brings up some great points. Let's just continue.
They're using our money to do this.
The worst thing is this has nothing to do with sports, friend. This has nothing to do with sports. They did this on purpose because they're Satanists. Yeah. Because they hate God, they hate Jesus, they want to corrupt your children. LGBT, they cannot have their own children, the gay people. They need your kids. When your kid goes to school and learns these things, you're going to be very angry that not enough people stood up and said that this is unacceptable.
So powerful. Isn't that the truth? Explain. If he's wrong, I welcome you on the podcast. Truth be told.
It's unacceptable to teach children these things. It's unacceptable to put it on the Olympics.
Right.
We're not here to hurt anybody. Right. But if nobody stands up, I'm a Muslim. I'm not even Christian. Right. As a Muslim, I show more respect for Jesus Christ than most Christians. Every Christian in Romania should be outside here right now saying that this is unacceptable. This is the land of God. There's churches everywhere. This is the most Christian country in Europe. And here we are allowing them to mock the Last Supper. Only yesterday, mocking it on TV, making fun of you. With our money, and nothing happens. And we're the bad guys for saying someone must show that this is wrong. We're not the bad guys. We're the only people who will be looked at in history who cared. Because soon, eventually, when God is gone from society, when Christianity has disappeared from society, and we live in a world now where you have unlimited migrants coming who don't care, don't respect the country anymore. They're going to turn up. LGBT will be trying to take your children. Everyone will say, where did God go? Well, when God was here, the people who fight for God, you put him in trouble with the police.
Sorry, 1 second. I need your ID, please, and also your
I don't have ID.
I have my ID.
Deco have ID.
My ID. I don't have passport. I have an ID.
Well, my name is Andrew Tate.
Hello, sir.
Hey, bro. Hey.
Your birth date and sorry.
By the way, it is so refreshing to see real men stand up, protest, speak truth. I don't know why these officers are persistent on harassing essentially these men. You don't need their identification. What are they doing wrong? He brings up great points. What's wrong is what took place in the Olympics. And just everything he covered right there. Just really hit it out of the park. You know what? Let's go ahead and move on to this other one. So apparently this just happened the other days, and it's so upsetting. What else did we expect with everything that's going on? It's unbelievable.
So an undocumented migrant decided to go to a Taylor Swift dance class today and stab 6 little girls. That's right, somebody arrived in the UK on a boat. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody knows where he's from. The media is, of course, hiding the fact that it's a 17-year-old male. So they don't want to highlight how ridiculous it is that we allow military-aged males, combatants, to flood our shores.
Right.
I don't see any protests in the UK. I don't see anybody complaining. Nobody's outside of the school. Nobody's outside the police station. The soul of the Western man is so broken that when the invaders slaughter your daughters, you do absolutely fucking nothing.
Wow. Are we literally going to sit back and do nothing? It's not just the UK. Obviously, we know, and there have been women raped, murdered right here in America from criminal invaders, people who entered this country illegally. That breaks my heart to see. The ones that are impacted the most are women and children. Are we going to sit back and do nothing? One simple call to action. Just copy this episode, pay it forward. We can influence more people to speak up to our state officials, say this is unacceptable. What are we going to do about it, especially here in Arizona? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a border state or not.
And as for the BBC, well, they made an article 3 days ago saying Andrew Tate is dangerous to women for his toxic masculinity.
Really?
I wonder if they're going to do an article about how dangerous it is to women to allow all these unchecked migrants in who stab little girls to death. Or probably not. Perhaps they want men to be so weak and so cowardly that they don't like Andrew Tate. And they're the kind of man who doesn't complain or put up any kind of fuss when little girls get killed.
It's all backwards, isn't it?
Toxic masculinity, as they deem it, are the kind of men who are unhappy with and find this fucking garbage unacceptable. There is no reason to let these clowns into our country.
True.
Let me explain something to you. If you will never pull the trigger, you will never have a border. If you are not prepared to use live ammunition, you're never going to have a border. You can use water cannons, you can use the Coast Guard, you can put up a fence, you can do X, Y, Z, but they're going to keep coming.
I believe he's onto something. And just before you think, oh no, that's terrible, here's reasoning. It's pretty freaking sound. Once again, try to argue against that in fact could lead to a more humane outcome.
And they don't give a shit about murdering any of you. Who says they're not mentally ill? Who says they're not from a war zone? Who says they're not sent by a foreign government? You have no idea who these fucking people are. And we'll be told, well, we can't pull the trigger, that's immoral. We can't protect our borders, that's immoral. I would argue it's far more immoral to let them in and kill citizens of the United Kingdom, to kill little girls. Because those little girls never stood a fucking chance. They never stood a chance of survival. Whereas if we make it clear we're going to defend our border with deadly force, you stand a very good chance of survival. Don't try to enter the country illegally. We have airports where you can apply to enter the country. Come in like everybody else. The chance of you getting accidentally shot is fucking zero. There's no accident about it. Absolutely nothing to do with morality. And anyone with a brain needs to stand up and stop letting these fucking cowards, these loser cowards, sit there and talk about morality and talk about being a good person and letting refugees in and how important it is and giving them the moral high ground over you who want to protect your border. These people have no moral high ground.
No moral high ground. It's true. They're gaslighting. It's all backwards. It's just a wolf in sheep's clothing. And with their war machine, controlling information for as long as they have. Yes, they're slowly losing grasp of that, but still so many people are being manipulated by their war machine because it goes beyond the scope of just the talking heads. It's still in all these social medias. It's all the censorship. It's the algorithms. It's the college campuses, the classrooms from all age spectrum. They have been very effective with the illusion as though the majority is behind what they are projecting. So many people just fall in line, or the ones that don't believe, they don't want to be ostracized. They don't want to be condemned. They don't want to be fired. They don't want to take any backlash, so they're not speaking out. And that right there, my friends, it's evil wins when good men and people do nothing. So why are we allowing this to continue? And it's on all different fronts. Enough is enough. Little girls dying? How bad does it have to get? And he gets into it. Let's just continue. Andrew Tate, I'm starting to like his content more and more. I might not agree with all of it, but for someone to speak out in their own colorful way, who am I to judge? I'm not perfect. I'm grateful someone leading in this manner regardless.
They're advocating for the assassination of children. They do not have moral high ground when little girls get stabbed to death. I don't know what it's going to take for Western civilization to wake the fuck up. Your enemies are not far away. It's domestic. They've been invited in by treasonous politicians.
Treasonous politicians. And to what he said, what is it going to take for people to wake up in the sense of getting even more engaged? It's crazy. I'm going to send this out to some of my own circles they're doing great. Yeah, they got the family, they got the kids, but they're really not engaged in much past that. Sure, they may show up and vote, but that's it. They may tune into a couple things on the news and kind of communicate between one another, but we must take more action than that, clearly, to gain ground on evil if we in fact care about the outcome for our future and especially for our children.
Politicians who raise your taxes and force you into debt slavery, and then won't even provide you safety in return.
Right.
It used to be Great Britain is a shell of its former self. It's fucking disgusting. And when I read that news today, and the fact that nobody is even complaining, and the fact the BBC won't even highlight that it's a 17-year-old illegal migrant.
Right.
The worst thing about it all is before I got mad, I just rolled my eyes and I thought,
just another day in England. Yeah. It truly boggles my mind how the millions, are allowing the few to rule over them. The demonic few. What are we doing? I'm amped. I want to do more. Let's figure it out together. Start dropping comments. Start dropping links. Here's a state official's email. Let's get organized. Let's start reaching out. I don't understand the lack of outrage. I don't. To put yourself in the shoes of those parents, of those little girls that were stabbed to death. I imagine they're getting engaged, and I imagine now they're going to do everything within their power to stop the invasion in their country. Can we effectively put ourselves in their shoes well enough to evoke like action out of oneself? Or is it literally going to have to be that situation in our own lives? Because that is what we're trying to avoid. And it's not just the threat of the invasion, guys. There's, as you know, especially our loyal listeners, Unmuzzled Chat Warriors, thank you so much. We are having an impact. And so much as to why is because of you. Thank you. You get it. All right, let's continue. Here's a really good one. I'm so grateful for women and men and just people taking the time to speak their truth If you feel motivated on any topic to come speak your truth, if you got my number, reach out or just simply email unmuzzledchat@gmail.com. Would love to have you. But this gal does fantastic. Bless you, hon, for making this clip. Worth watching and on point. I agree, 100%. Let's go ahead and play it.
We eat the food they give us, vote for one of two people that they tell us to, and watch the movies that they show.
Right.
They take our attention as soon as we reach age 5, and they never give it back. We go to school for 8 hours a day learning what they want us to. They scold us until we obey, and then they praise us when we do. They make us form a habit of waking up and spending our entire day in a building that we wouldn't choose, so that when we get older, we are willing to do the same. Following orders becomes comfortable when we spend our childhood doing what we're told. So when we're older, we hesitate to stray outside the norm. They tell us that we should do anything we can to attend a university, because if we don't, we will fail. They manipulate us into financial dependency at a young age so that we stay liable to the system. They've given us a currency that only has value because they say it does, and we receive it by working at a business that they own. Their millions become billions while the rest of us are forced to sacrifice our time for a minuscule fraction of what our work gains for them. They provide us housing, but make it costly so that we struggle to accumulate enough wealth to escape their system. Our supermarkets are full of brands that they possess, to the point that it is difficult to find ones that they don't.
Right.
Our meals are either purchased from a store that they most likely own, or created with ingredients from their brands.
It's poisonous. And it's not just from food. It's from the lotions and makeups and deodorant, freaking sunscreen. Speaking of sunscreen, I got fried today. Anyway, I don't mean to get distracted. Let's continue.
They tamper with the food they give us and pump them with toxic and addictive chemicals. They make the most harmful foods the cheapest and most convenient, so that it becomes an offer that we can't refuse. Over time, we become addicted in many more ways than one, and they bombard us with temptation on every billboard or commercial.
Right.
When we get sick from excessive consumption of this insubstantial food, we are forced with almost no other option but to give up financial solidity for the sake of our health. We pay thousands to facilities that they own so that they can prescribe us more harmful chemicals that simply numb the symptoms. They revolve society around addictive foods that cause disease and expensive drugs that mask them, so that we stay in a forever grasp of their system. We only ever consume content that they provide. Our news channels are operated by them to persuade us into two opposing perspectives, so that we never share a same opinion. Why do you think it's free? They feed us shocking news headlines that provoke emotion and grab our attention away from what's really going on in the world.
Wow.
They've granted us with superficial idols that portray luxurious lifestyles, so that we strive to be like them and associate
Evil, false idols, false sense of worship. It's crazy. For too long, people have coveted, and it's sinful. I'm telling you, everything in this experience is so spiritual, and by design, it's to pull us away so we're not even feeling that side of it. We're just completely wrapped up into this mortal existence, and we've lost touch with that. Man, I could speak on it because I've been there. I'm human. I'm defective. All I can speak out on is the blessings I've accumulated from when I actually, and I've shared it before on this platform, and it's why I believe we actually live in such a blessed era, because it has never been this clear. So when you can see evil, doesn't it draw you to the light? Doesn't it draw you to the Creator, or at least the curiosity as to trying to figure out why we are here? Because if evil exists, obviously there's people legitimately worshiping Satan, and there's people legitimately worshiping God in Jesus Christ. I get that a lot of people could get scarred because churches and individuals and pastors, because once again, they are all defective, flawed, and sinners. Even the best of us. Jesus was our only, true, pure example. So we can't get caught up. We know better. I know it can hurt when people let you down or people stab you in the back, and it's intertwined with church or things of that nature. That's where it is relationship with God over religion, in my eyes, always. And once I really pursued that path, now I actually feel safe to engage in any church and get involved even in the majority of these churches, because I find them all in ways, the ones worshiping Jesus Christ, they all have their own unique, beautiful ways of worship, I suppose, and unique individuals with talent, obviously, in their own abilities as they walk in the Spirit. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent here. Let's go ahead and continue the clip. I apologize.
Create money with happiness. They keep us focused on worldly problems that they've created to keep us zoomed in on our physical reality and detached from our Creator. If we keep our attention on what's going on around us, we will never be present and see the truth of God within us.
Right.
The villain who runs the world knows the truth of our potential, and it's in their best interest to keep us distracted and willing to submit to a system that thrives on fearful compliance.
That is so powerful. I'm sorry for interrupting, but just to let you know, all these clips, the individual clips will be added in the description below, so you could replay this one uninterrupted and share it. I mean, I would prefer that you share the whole episode, but then again, if it's just this clip that's going to impact someone in a positive way, you feel impressed to send this clip by itself, do that. Because above boosting the channel and our outreach, I'd rather just have that maximum impact. That's what we're going for here.
Imagine if every person on this planet believed that we were created for a reason. We would unlock an unbreakable faith within ourselves and reverse the pyramid of power in which society was built. We would see past the lie that we've been living and turn to each other for help rather than depending on our corrupt leaders. Corrupt leaders who have accumulated a discrete monopoly that succeeds in circumventing the eyes of those who are unaware through the illusion of choice. The majority of us see the world as it is portrayed, diverse, coincidental, and plausible. To someone who lives day by day without taking a step back, the world kind of seems to make sense. Then we look behind the curtain and see that it really makes sense. Where there is one lie, there is many. Once we see one lie, we will find ourselves on an endless spiderweb of mass deception. The blindfold tied around us in childhood will loosen and light will be shed on our fabricated reality. Those in charge of us do not have our best interests in mind and never did. It has been a power trip from the start, and we have gone along with it since the birth of society and will continue to until we see a reason for change and stop pointing fingers at each other.
So true, so powerful. Well said. I personally want to replay that one time and time and time again. She states it's very well written and spoken. My goodness. By the way, total squirrel, what am I going to do with all these Let's Go Brandon shirts? I got so many of them. Because, yeah, that clown, we don't even know if he's even around anymore. We don't even know if he's alive. There's still, I suppose, some meaning behind it. I got the Let's Go Brandon flag behind the American flag even right there. But that is entirely beside the point. Gosh. Well said, young lady. I'm impressed. I'm moved. I love how she tied in from the corruption, how it's all, once again, it's biblical. It's why I want to get more of your testimonies, more of your stories, more of you to speak out. Because I'm fighting algorithms. I'm seeing ebb and flows on my channel. I can only resonate with people to an extent. And as moving as that was, she has her limitations too. You have yours. But on the positive side, you never know how many you could influence. I could only imagine the celebration that takes place in heaven when a single soul is saved. A single soul. I believe a life worth lived in this existence would be over even a single soul. It's not about hundreds and thousands and millions of people. God loves us all so profoundly. Can't even imagine the The fact he sent Jesus to pave a way and pay that ultimate sacrifice. Just like Arthur, I need to have Arthur back on, stated a while back that he loves each and one of us so much that even if we were the only ones to have existed, he still would have sent Jesus to pave the way for us, just even for one of us. All right, we got another bright lady here. We're going to go ahead and play this other clip. One powerful clip to the next. I stated, yes, wake up, America. We must get engaged. Let's go. The Rumble account, hashtag save America, make America great again. Time is now. Boom, this woman says everything so perfectly and sums up every issue that is upside down in our country 100%. Keep this video saved and show it to Democrats. It's not a bad idea.
I never dreamed that I would have to face the prospect of not living in the United States of America, at least not the one I've known all my life. I've never wished to live anywhere else. This is my home, and I was privileged to be born here. But today I woke up, and as I had my morning coffee, I realized that everything is about to change. No matter how I vote, no matter what, I say something evil has invaded our nation, and our lives are never going to be the same. I've been confused by the hostility of family and friends. I look at people I've known all my life, so hate-filled that they agree with opinions they would never express as their own. I think I may have, entered the twilight zone. We become a nation that has lost its collective mind. You can't justify this insanity. If a guy pretends to be a woman, you're required to pretend with him. Somehow, it's un-American for the census to count how many Americans are in America. Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegals voting in our elections are good. It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it. 20 is too young to drink.
Wow. Boom, that was powerful. It just goes to show how upside down it all is and how effective they are impacting people with the freaking lies. You lie enough and say it enough, a certain percentage will just inherently believe it. It's crazy. It's such a clown world. That's why we got to get more people on Rumble, podcast apps, podcasts. I don't know any other better source of information because it's mainly independent. And like here, I'm trying to have people come on to have open discussion and dialogue, because if I'm wrong on things, that's how we're going to get to the bottom of things. We need the abilities to be wrong and freedom of speech, period. Full stop.
Drink a beer, but 18's old enough to vote. People who've never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees. Immigrants with tuberculosis and polio are welcome, but you better be able to prove your dog is vaccinated. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a rigorous vetting process, but any illiterate gangbangers who jump the southern fence are welcome.
Wow.
$5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free healthcare is not. If you cheat,
I'm speechless. Very well said.
To get into college, you go to prison, but if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free.
Wow.
People who say there is no such thing as gender are demanding a female president. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan to us. Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now.
Right.
Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights.
Wow.
And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racist. Nothing makes sense anymore. No values, no morals, and no civility. People are dying of a Chinese virus, but it's racist to refer to it as Chinese even though it began in China. We're clearly living in an upside-down world where right is wrong and wrong is right, where moral is immoral and immoral is moral, where good is evil and evil is good, where killing murderers is wrong, but killing unborn babies is A-okay.
Ooh, it's not okay. There's biblical references. I should have pulled them up. Once again, I consider myself new, baby Christian. There's always... I have so much to learn, but I know it speaks of in the later days, kind of just what she expressed, like the rumors of wars and how everything's upside down. Truth is viewed as wrong, and wrong is viewed as right. It kind of just puts more emphasis on the importance of seeking the why to our existence.
Wake up, America. The great unsinkable ship, Titanic America, has hit an iceberg, is taking on water, and is sinking fast. Speak up.
Yes, speak up. 100%. Speaking up, getting organized, more momentum. We could right this ship right away. We really could. I don't understand the doom and gloom. It's because they've effectively demoralized, divided, brought pain, suffering. Like I know we're hurting financially, all these things. But we could turn all that around by simply getting more engaged. Prove me wrong. Let's all get engaged and find out. Golly. All right, let's play this clip by Joe Rogan. He's even shining the light on some truth here. Yeah, their war machine at work manipulating the masses. Expose, expose, expose. Help us do just that with the podcast. Something fishy is going on with Kamala Harris, and Joe Rogan can smell it. Let's go ahead and play this.
It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind.
The fragility of the human mind. I agree with his point so profoundly, where it's essentially, do we have amnesia? Are we entirely hacked and poisoned and diminished to a point we can't? There's so many engines cranking on to clean the slate and stand up, and you can see it being ramped up on Facebook and all these other, like, bots are trying to appear once again as the majority, but we can't fall prey to that. You can't. Let's just play the clip.
You know, so everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all time. And then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got me started, Officer Harris. Wow. So, they've been doing this live for years.
Right.
So, in 2019, our pal Tulsi absolutely nuked her in that second debate. And if you looked at charts at the time, she's kind of, Officer Harris is doing okay. First debate, she comes out, Joe Biden, you're a racist. The Democrats were looking for an alternative to Bernie Sanders that wasn't Biden. She starts going up in the polls, right? Second debate comes out. Tulsi, being a good Hawaiian, knows how to roast the pig. Just completely slams her. Not only that, she has no counterpunch. She goes on Anderson Cooper and she's like, well, I'm a top tier candidate, so of course people are going to take shots at me. That's her answer. She immediately starts going down the polls. It's that day. You can see it on the chart I have on my Twitter. All the articles at the time that did an autopsy on Kamala Harris's failed campaign didn't mention Tulsi once.
Yeah.
It was BBC, LA Times, Reuters, New Yorker. A guy from the Washington Post just did a piece looking back on her campaign, didn't mention Tulsi either. They completely pretend it didn't happen.
Well, it just shows you that what they're looking for is not what they say they're looking for.
Yes.
Because she is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit, so she got to see people blown up by the war. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. All those things you want, but and yet you don't want her.
Because she's not for war.
Yes. Well, she's also just not willing to play ball. There's a game that's being played. And if you're like, hey, you're not supposed to fucking move the ball. Like, oh, look at this bitch over here. Like, get out of here. You're going to fuck up our game. It's not real democracy. It's controlled parties.
To anyone that thinks Kamala is in fact the solution, get on X, just start looking into her past, period. Because Google, Facebook, all these other places are censoring and they're creating the algorithms to support this witch, this evil woman. You just got to do your own research. It's what it boils down to. Oh, I guess I could get off that. All right, one last clip and we'll freaking wrap this up. Guys, I just want to say I appreciate you. I love you. I hope this just helps steer us all in the right direction on an individual basis, but also as a whole, together, a community. Here we are. Facts. You cannot sweep under the rug nor lie to yourself if in fact you value your future. Too big to rig is going to be a challenge based on these facts, these stats. Well, I will talk more on it after.
The numbers you need to understand. Yale University released a study last week by 3 researchers, all of them liberal, I believe, who concluded that the actual number of illegal aliens in this country is not 11 million. It's north of 22 million.
By the way, yeah, north of 22. There's ones that have said in excess of 30 plus million. It's no joke. But listen to what he's got to say.
22 million. Fact 1. Fact 2. The Democratic Party is now, as a matter of policy, calling for the legalization of all illegals in this country. Citizenship voting rights. 22 million new voters. Fact 3. The overwhelming majority of first-time immigrant voters vote Democrat. Fact 4. The largest margin in American presidential history was 17 million votes.
The largest margin in history regarding our elections was 17 million. Far less than what, in fact, they've allowed into this country. Too big to rig may be too big of an ask. Could it be done? I believe so. Especially if we do the hold people accountable and the pay it forward type model where every American doesn't tell 10 people to go vote, make sure holds 10 accountable to make sure they make it in and vote. And then those 10 must pay it forward and do the same. Not tell people, but ensure, like make sure. And if they thought they had 10 and one dropped out, well, then your job isn't done. Like go find another person. But if there's obviously going to be some weak links in that chain of paying it forward, I'd venture to say even some of the so-called patriotic Americans with American flags and merch and all these other things and loud, they won't even ensure 10 make it. So there's going to be weak links. So yeah, I do like the idea of making things too big to rig, but then again, there's action we could take on local levels to ensure that illegals cannot vote and voter IDs. Gosh dang it, we got to get rid of these Dominion systems. So many things we need to do to even clean up to ensure one person, one vote. My gosh. This is where we need to get involved right away, right now, and really ramp up the pressure like never before on local levels. We must do it.
1980 election, 1984 election between Mondale and Reagan.
And Reagan, yeah.
17 million. You would add to our voter rolls 22 million, at least, permanent electoral majority in perpetuity.
Wow.
That's what this is about. It's not about making the country better, serving our labor needs, helping the population. It's about putting Democrats in power.
Well, it's also about other things, though, too, Tucker, because there's multiple layers of this invasion. It's weakening the patriotic backbone. It's threatening U.S. citizens. It's enriching some very corrupt, nasty individuals in the cartel, allowing fentanyl into our country, which is wreaking havoc. More than 100,000 Americans each year now dying of fentanyl. Unbelievable. Not to mention, like, it's guaranteed that some of them are terrorists. It's guaranteed there's some sleeper cells. It's guaranteed there's so many things it's strategically being done. Tucker brings up an amazing point, but it's like, as we reach out about the voting, we could also reach out about securing our freaking border and demanding it. Enough of us get on board with that narrative, we will come up with a solution to get people in the positions that will make that difference. Period. We don't have to sit here and be all concerned. We just need to create the momentum. That's it. So help us achieve that right here on this podcast. Forward. And friends, let's go.
Power forever. That is the truth of our immigration, serving our labor needs, helping the population. It's about putting Democrats in power forever.
Right.
That is the truth of our immigration debate, period.
Well, my friends, yes, we have an uphill battle. It's a spiritual battle, but do not be disheartened, because we have the creator of it all on our side if you want him behind you. If you want him in your corner, you just got to open that door and let him in. The creator of it all. And if it's his will to right this ship, then things will be fixed. If it is the end times, well, we showed up, we did what we could do. You had as much impact as you could on all these positive levels. Isn't that why we're freaking here? Isn't it? Okay, we're just going to do the 1 minute prayer for men and we'll wrap up once again. So we're still in asking for directions within your reach. May your hand be ready to help me, for I have chosen your precepts. Psalm 119, 173. I chose your ways, Lord, when I encounter difficulties. I rely on the guidance of your precepts. Today I ask you to show me mercy, Lord. Reach down into my current circumstances and redirect my steps so that I stay true to your will. It is easy to become sidetracked in this busy life. Lead me to ask for your help as I need it. I want to stay faithful to your path you have prepared for me. It is exciting to think about how you are using every day of my life to move me forward and to serve your purpose. 100%. It is exciting because he'll give you peace. He'll give you purpose and meaning in this life, and it becomes nothing other than exciting. And it's just like, how can I serve you, Lord, today? Now, I know I'm human. I apologize for my flaws. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to hit things from as many angles and be as impactful positively as I can. My intent isn't to offend or rub people wrong, but to see the truth of this existence and what is really taking place around us. To those that may take offense, I challenge you to look in the mirror. Ask yourself, why would I take offense? Why? And try to put on the other person's shoes, seek to understand why they would say what they would say, whether it's this podcast or any situation you experience in this life. Let's go. I'm amped. Once again, in Rumble, first one to put the comment, God is good, wins this stand-up hat. Just send us in the email your address and we'll be sure to send it out to you. Other calls to action, Patriot Mobile is one of them because they are the only Christian conservative mobile network there is. Just click the link below, call them. Information isn't going to hurt you. If you call them, just mention Unmuzzled Chat. They'll waive the fees, they'll take care of you. It's crucial that we put our money towards things that are moving us in the right direction and not funding our enemy. That's insane. Why are we doing that? We got to stop that with Netflix, with Disney, with box stores. It's important we look up BlackRock and all corporations, everything it owns. I believe we're in for a ride. To this day, I feel the best preparations you could do is get an EMP shield on your vehicle. Don't be left stranded. You could do all these preparations, but the point you're limited to walking, gosh, get one on your vehicle today. You could click the link below and you can get $50 off every single product you order. So you can even get one for your home or your solar system. Just click the link below. The next most important thing I feel we could do is to up our resilience. And how do we accomplish that? Well, focusing on our health. We've covered by feeding good nutrition, good water sources, but it's important we eradicate the toxin buildup. Metals, forever chemicals, molds, and Bone Charge has a solution with a mobile, it's right there. It's an infrared sauna blanket. You set it up, hop in it, get a good sweat on. It magnifies the natural way the body detoxes from things it doesn't want in its system. And I can swear by this. It's helped me in a lot of different ways. We can increase the detoxifying by adding Masterpiece, that little tincture. It's a little miracle tincture. And I'm telling you, it really helped change the number on the metals and the forever chemicals as well. If you're in Arizona, check out Unchained Wellness Clinic. They are amazing. They have a lot of leading edge testing and equipment for really getting the root of any issue that you might be dealing with. If you give them a call, mention Unmuzzled Chat, you can schedule for a free infrared sauna and cold plunge. They're an amazing family-owned business. I can't say enough good things about them. If you haven't checked out Black Eagle Apparel, they're kind of the OG sponsor to this podcast. Alex has done amazing things. They just opened a storefront in Arizona. I have yet to visit because I'm up in the woods. Can't wait to go check it out. But he's got so much awesome freedom merch. And he's the only one exclusively at this time with Unmuzzled Chat t-shirts. Please support us. We really need... I'll admit, I'm now heavily in debt, trying to show up on the front lines to whatever capacity. I know I'm a limited being. I know I have a limited speech, especially on the back end of Lyme disease. I'm still working on it. I'm tripping up over words a lot. This is gravely challenging, but I'm facing those challenges head on. So I apologize that I'm not as amazing as some of these other, but I'm just trying to do my part. And I hope that some people could respect that enough to support us in ways. If you don't want an Unmuzzled Chat t-shirt and you want to support us, like some of the investments, and I'm hoping this episode actually went without a hiccup because we have the new Starlink modem now. But we've had to upgrade the solar, the controller, the inverter, the batteries, and for once it seems to be running, we'll see after the upload, more smoothly than ever before, and I really hope that's the case. But we've gone into debt. Debt isn't good. We shouldn't be in debt to get to this point. Help us help you. I'm committed to whatever capacity I can to having a positive impact. That's it. We have the Buy Me a Coffee link. We have a direct Venmo, Cash App, and GoFundMe. Any amount. If you know anyone that's in a good place, they could bless this platform, and it's not going to share our content with them. Share this very episode with them. Genuinely, we need financial assistance. Pray about it. Above all, pray about it. And if you feel inclined, we'd be so grateful. With all that, I appreciate you. Let's just get this out there. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to have the conversations with some of these guests we have geared up coming here in the near future. So just stay tuned. I actually had to push some guests back to ensure we took care of some of the glitches, which actually led to more financial strain, unfortunately. But we have to address these glitches so we can provide quality content. So it just is what it is. I know we're all feeling it, but let's just support one another, and we can ease the burdens of like the world collapsing around us and create an alternate economy. God bless you. God bless America. And until next time, take care.